Yo, what's going on, y'all?
Happy game day.
Welcome to Facemask Fantasy. It's Sunday morning stream.
I feel like I haven't done these for a couple of weeks, mostly because I haven't done these for a couple of weeks, but I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we didn't do one last week due to technical difficulties. I think it was last week, or was it the week before?
Yeah, didn't the power go out on your block or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. Last week, and then the week before that, it was just me. So, yeah, this is the first Saturday morning stream in a while. Probably since, like, the Amon-Ra injury, which feels like a long time ago.
I'm ready to go.
Yep. What's going on, Elout? What's going on, Box of Chocolate? What's going on, Tone?
Life's like a box of chocolates.
Boom.
Yes, let's get it.
Yeah, man. Hey, I mean, we got some news overnight. It looks like Olave is not playing.
As expected.
Yeah. So
make sure to put Olave on your bench, or even better, when he's ruled out, IR spot, pick somebody up just for the the hell of it. But good move. I mean, this had to be expected. This has to be the move moving forward. I mean, a guy who suffers a concussion just straight up can't play the next week. Like, just can't.
Yeah.
So when it happens, assume you won't have that player for another week, if not more.
And as of a few hours ago, CeeDee Lamb is expected to play, and T. Higgins, there is optimism. T. Higgins' ankle he's able to play in week 6.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that as the morning progresses into the early afternoon, and see what type of vibe we might be getting from that situation. I don't think I'm going to shy away from Tyler Boyd, though, in this scenario, because Higgins is probably going to be operating at less than 100% if he goes. So, something to keep an eye on as we move through the morning, but why don't we get to these start-sit questions before they really start to pile up?
Yeah, and we got a little bit of clarity on the Cam Akers situation.
Did we?
Ian Rappaport is quoted as saying the Rams are expected to field trade calls. And again, this is a direct quote. This is uncharted territory, and I think the biggest thing is, out of respect for the situation, we want to keep it internally. Philosophical and football-related differences with head coach Sean McVay are the reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's the quote from Ian Rappaport. So, yeah, I don't. Everything I was speculating on yesterday, throw that out the window. I don't know what's up there. Maybe they just don't work together, and Cam wants to go elsewhere or something like that. I don't know.
But the problem is, with what he has shown you on the field recently, the Rams spent a second-round pick on him a couple of years ago, right? He wasn't a third-round pick. He was a second-round pick.
Yeah.
I mean, would you trade a 7th right now? I would not. I wouldn't. There's a lot of red flags right now.
Considering that team specifically doesn't have a lot of draft capital over the next few seasons just because of how they operated, giving up draft capital for players now, worked last year, isn't working this year up to this point.
There's going to come a time where you have to cash that check.
But also I don't know how much draft capital they have to throw around. I think they realize they might be in a little bit of a pinch, and they'll take what they can get to get a headache out of the room.
Yeah.
And get some draft capital, because they have none. They have nothing. They got a bare cabinet right now.
No, and yeah, but if I'm another team, and this will be the last thing I say because I do want to get to the questions.
Absolutely.
If I'm the other team calling the Rams, given what I've seen from Cam Akers recently, I don't even know if I want to give up a last round pick for him right now.
No.
So this is an incredibly volatile situation right now. Obviously, hope the best for Cam Akers from a resolution perspective, but
yes,
I would be operating that if I've drafted him, I don't have him for the next, I'll say month. That's speculation. We'll see. Hopefully it gets figured out. At this point, Cam Akers, as far as I'm concerned, is done as an LA Ram.
Yes, I would agree.
Yep.
And all right, let's get into these questions, y'all, because that's why you are here. Tone.
Yep.
What is happening? Deion Jackson or AJ Dillon? AJ Dillon. But yeah. I am trying to find a way to sneak Deion Jackson into my lineups this week. But if that's a flex situation and you are really set at RB 1 and 2, then the answer is AJ Dillon.
Mm-hmm. Go with the better player in the more, with the more established role.
Now, what do you think about Super C and B Challengers question? Eno Benjamin or Kenneth Walker PPR?
Can't play both. And I see right there, pick 2 PPR, Mike Williams, Michael Pittman, Christian Kirk. Is this the same league? Because I would absolutely take one of those, not Mike Williams, but I would probably not Kirk either. I might take Pittman out to play both Benjamin and Walker if you have the flexibility. Let us know. But I'm playing both of those guys in favor of Michael Pittman if I can.
I'm getting close to that. I mean, in past weeks, we've seen tight ends and some ancillary players in the Indianapolis Colts offense catch like 2 touchdowns and stuff. Mo Alley Cox 2 touchdown game.
Sure, yeah.
And the production hasn't gone Pittman's way. And I don't know if that's a trend that's just going to continue or if it's a course correct situation. I'm willing to give Pittman one more week. I was pretty set on that yesterday. I have to be consistent in that today. If it's a choice between the 3 of them in full PPR and the 2 of Eno Benjamin and Kenneth Walker, it is very close. But I got to stay consistent, I guess, and say stay Pittman, so I wouldn't agree there. But in terms of Kenneth Walker or Eno Benjamin,
I would play Eno if you had to, just because the matchup is so spectacular.
And he has the role all to himself because Darrell Williams isn't a factor in this game either. It's whether or not Keontae Ingram and Corey Clement are taking work away from Eno Benjamin. I don't expect a whole lot of that.
They won't. I'll go out on a limb on that one and say they won't.
Yeah, but I mean, and then even then, it's real close. But I mean,
and just to wrap a bow on this, it sounds like John wants to play Pittman, and you said you could flex, but you could play both. I'm at the point where I need to see a bounce back game from Michael Pittman, and I'm willing to play 2 running backs in great spots in his place for a week.
Fair.
So I'm benching Pittman, especially because the Jags are actually by the numbers a pretty tough matchup for opposing wide receivers. And I know Pittman's at home, so sometimes you throw that out the window in this scenario. But I want both of those running backs in my lineup. I do. That's all I have to say. I don't know if you want to make one final.
Yeah,
call
I'm just thinking it over.
Okay, why don't you think it over and I'll go to Elout.
Right.
2 wide receivers and a flex: AJ Brown, Hollywood Brown, Devontae Smith, Waddle, Pickens, Rashad White. These are some good options. If you have AJ, Hollywood, and Devontae Smith in there already, I think I would keep what you have. You are running the risk of one of your Eagle receivers not firing because that has been a bit of a trend where one fires, but at the other one's expense.
But they should want to run it up this game.
Say that? Oh, the Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they want to show out against the Cowboys and vice versa, right? The Cowboys want to have a good showing on prime time against the undefeated division rival.
Yep.
So both guys want to, but both teams want to show out. But I think both are in a great enough situation where you can play that game I don't, as great as Pickens looks and how great his stock looks right now, I don't think I can bring myself to fire him up over Devontae Smith just because you have A.J. Brown. So I'm going to say stick with what you have.
There you go.
Waddle, but third string quarterback.
And I think with, with the Waddle situation, what he's dealing with that quarterback, I think that's the right move right now. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you want some variance, then you can switch out Devonta Smith for Pickens, who I think should have a low or a high floor this week.
Sure.
His ceiling remains really undetermined at this point.
Yeah.
But I think that's fair. And to again, I wanted to go back to Super C and B Challengers questions. Sure. I am going Kenneth Walker over Eno, but I am playing Pittman over Eno as well right now too. So pick two.
Right,
but
so
between the pick two there, I'm going Mike Williams and Kirk over Pittman.
So Pittman's in your flex,
and then Kenneth Walker
Eno.
PPR.
Okay, I'm playing Eno in a spectacular matchup. So we're split there, Super C. Hopefully the dialogue allows you to make your own call, and of course at the end of the day, go with your gut.
Absolutely.
Whatever you feel like is the right call, go with it. But I guess to that point, we're both in on Walker in your starting lineup.
Yes.
I like Eno a lot today.
I do too. It's just your other options are
your
very
other
strong.
options are good. But yeah, I would play both backs. I think John opts for Pittman over Eno. And then at that point, it depends on what you want to do,
Well, I opt for Kirk and Mike Williams over Eno because it's pick two.
Right.
And then you're picking one of Eno and Kenneth Walker, so I'm choosing Kenneth Walker. But, I mean, really, the Pittman situation doesn't even factor in here because I'm choosing Kirk and Williams over Pittman if it's pick two.
Right, but Pittman, he can flex. Or she, sorry, I don't want to assume.
And in that case, it's Kenneth Walker if it's that's the flex.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well then in that case, Pittman's out of the lineup anyway.
Right. It's only if it's only if
Yeah.
that was the RB2 spot and they still need a flex, and then Benjamin v. Pittman, there we're split. But that's a particular situation that wasn't outlined. My bad. Box of chocolates. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for watching last night.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Olave is out this week.
Or I don't know if he's officially ruled out, but not expected to play. We expect him to officially be ruled out when the 11:30 actives start rolling in a little more than an hour from now.
Yep. And we already got to that pick two. Iron.
Yep. What's up, Iron?
What's happening, man? How you doing?
He's rooting for the Chiefs today.
Chilling with us on the night stream and then turning around and being available right as we turn on the Saturday morning or the Sunday morning stream. Yeah, man. Thanks for chilling. Iron, full PPR, Judy or Dylan? It's Dylan. And don't do that. Don't do that. I'm wearing my Fitzmagic jersey for a reason. I need some magic to happen. I'm not gonna lie. I was brewing some coffee this morning and I dropped my Buffalo Bills mug broke. Bad omens.
No.
Bad omens.
Oh no.
So I had to throw on the Fitzmagic jersey. I was gonna throw on the LaShawn jersey, but I had to throw on the Fitzmagic jersey because we needed some magic today.
Maybe you made a sacrifice today.
Possibly sacrifice to the gods.
Maybe you made a sacrifice to the gods for a good outcome. Yeah, I mean. I like Judy, and he had I think he had 3 for 53, something like that last Thursday on 7 targets. Obviously nothing to write home about. Still involved.
I'm off of Judy, man. Until this offense gets better, it's Sutton or nothing. Sutton or Melvin Gordon or nothing.
Yeah, right. Sutton I can fire up. Melvin Gordon I can fire up.
I'm firing up Dylan over Judy,
but
even in full PPR.
I think the 6 touches last week was a bit of an aberration. Prior to last week, the London game, 18 touches, 14 touches, 19 touches, 15 touches. This guy is an integral part of a good offense in the Packers. At home, coming off a loss. against what looks to be on paper an inferior opponent. They're going to want to take care of business at home. I expect the Packers, when they're playing at home, to take care of business because they've earned that respect over what they've done during Aaron Rodgers' tenure. Give me Dillon.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And it's kind of a talent thing at this point. I mean, Judy hasn't shown. Yeah. Judy has shown flashes, and he's still only 23 years old.
Yeah, he can make big plays.
But I mean,
it's not a good offense right now.
Yeah.
It's not a good offense right now. He's only had 2 half PPR weeks where he's over 10 fantasy points. So there's been some consistency issues. And again, he did pick up an injury week 2, so that hurt him week 2 and week 3, and then week 5 on a Thursday night. Not a great showing. I don't really put a whole lot of stock into bad showings on Thursday nights because it happens all the time. But it's a bad offense, and Dillon is. I just feel much safer with him right now.
Me too.
We got a tight end
and no go Chiefs.
No go Chiefs.
But with Freiermuth out, who is the best PPR option? Hayden Hurst, Irv Smith, Dalton Schultz, Evan Ingram, Tyler Conklin, Robert Tonyan, Will Dissly. Appreciate y'all. We appreciate you too.
Yeah, Dissly, I think.
I think it's Dissly too. Going up against the number 2 defense to opposing tight ends.
Arizona's bad against tight ends like every year. And not like bad, like worst in the league bad. It seems to be a trend at this point where Arizona seems to struggle against tight ends. So I want to play a tight end against them. I would have vouched for Hurst a little bit more, but he's on the injury report. Now, actually, is there any update on him as far as his availability?
No, not yet.
Okay. Irv Smith
and Ingram is he's a dart throw. If
no
Tonyan, if your Tonyans and your Will Dissleys aren't available, Ingram is somebody that I wouldn't feel bad targeting this week. He is going up against the number 5 defense in terms of fantasy points against for tight ends, and they're without Marvin Jones for this game.
Yep.
So he's a little bit of a streamer over your Hayden Hursts, over your Irv Smiths, over your Dalton Schultzes, even over your Conklins.
But I think I would still opt for Dissly over Ingram. Seattle's offense is better, and I know Dissly didn't do much last week, but the Saints are actually pretty strong against tight ends.
It's just wild that it's Dissly for Geno Smith over Noah Fant. It is kind of mind-boggling to me, but that's where we are.
The tight end position is so weird. I mean, you're not expecting more than like 35 to 40 yards receiving, but
he's a touchdown or bust option, but he scores a lot of touchdowns historically.
But he's catching touchdowns in plus matchups, and this is a plus matchup.
Yeah.
Like week 3 against Atlanta, they are bottom 5 as far as tight end, stopping the tight end. 3 for 34 and a touchdown. Very next week, week 4 against Detroit, their defense is terrible, including a bottom 10 defense against tight ends. 4 catches, 39 yards, touchdown. So you're not expecting more than 40 yards receiving from him, but he is hitting in plus matchups, and this is about as good of a matchup as it gets. I'm going to roll the dice on Dissly of your options.
And Box of Chocolates, 12-man PPR, Higgins or Pierce. If Higgins is playing, you're playing Higgins.
It's got to be Higgins.
But if he's not playing, Pierce is a solid swerve option, but don't expect Higgins' ceiling.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. But if he's in, you got to play him. You have to play Higgins.
And Ben Terry, PPR flex, one of Najee, Rondale Moore, or DJ Moore. That's such an ugly group of wide receivers there where,
it's got to be Najee.
I'm going Najee in that situation, but I'm not feeling comfortable about it.
No, but I'll take the dude who should, Jalen Warren might have something to say about this, but should see 60 to 65. You would hope for 70% of the touches, 90% of the snaps, 70% of the touches. Hasn't been playing out that way for Najee, but that's a drop off as far as the wide receivers go. I'm gonna hold my nose, play Najee, and hope he can fall into the end zone.
Yep.
Tampa is banged up on defense for what it's worth. More so in the secondary, but I do think one of their guys on the defensive line is out as well. So, Najee. I don't feel great, but Najee.
And Super CMB Challengers was in the situation where we are split. So that did factor in, but we are split there. So do with that discussion, or at least the discussion points as you will, and decide accordingly. But good luck with that decision. Iron, can't wait to see Walker. Space Navigator, let's go. Me three, man. Like I kind of can't wait.
I think he's the superior player and prospect to Rashad Penny. I feel like he had been kind of poo-pooed a little bit, as maybe more so in. There were Rashad Penny truthers out there that wanted to believe in their guy, which is fine. Everybody's got their guys. But this man's got sub 4.4 speed and can catch the ball. And Seattle is one of the best run blocking offensive lines in the league, because of course they are, right? Go figure. At home, I know it's a division game, and division games can always turn out to be weird, but I'm very excited to see Walker as well. Get him into your lineups if you can. From a rushing perspective, he profiles as a slightly slower Javonte Williams. He doesn't have the pass catching upside of a Javonte Williams, but a slightly slower Javonte Williams, I'm taking. You know who that sounds like? He can do it.
You know who that sounds like? J.K. Dobbins. He sounds like he could be J.K. Dobbins.
And I think Walker has more pass catching upside than like a Dobbins. Maybe more so the situation.
5.4% target share in college. We can't say that quite yet, but
yeah. I'm not worried. So that was a hot button topic during the offseason.
Yes.
And there were two sides to that conversation, right? One was Michigan State didn't incorporate their backs into the game plan. But on the other side, it's like, well, why didn't they do it, right? In limited opportunities, he showed he could catch the ball. And in the NFL, with more advanced, more sophisticated offenses, I'm very intrigued to see what his upside is there. I think he catches 3 of them today.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. I'm starting him in places, so I hope so.
I think he catches 3 or 4 today. I do think he has more pass catching upside than he's currently getting credit for.
I don't think Rashad Penny had a ton of pass catching upside, so I don't think it's.
Walker does.
I'm not scared away from Walker at all. I'm trying to start him in pretty much anywhere where I have him.
You need to fire him up everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere.
Jace Bedouin, what's happening? Hayden Hurst or Taysom Hill, full PPR. It's Taysom Hill, dude.
Holy hell, it's Taysom Hill.
We're there now. It's Taysom Hill.
We are. The entire Saints offense is out, so Hill is going to be called upon, and Hurst is on the injury report. Hill. Yeah, Hill.
And Box of Chocolates 12 team, 3 wide receiver, 2 flex.
Got that one.
Got you.
It's got to be Higgins.
Yeah. All right. You were just rephrasing it. All right.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Still Higgins, if he's playing.
You out? Yeah. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I think you rock with that stack this week.
Careful with the Cowboys defense, although they are a good option for fantasy. This is going to be a tougher matchup though for tonight on the road against an offense that's clicking.
The fact that you got the stack is the reason why I'm cool with you just rolling with both of those wide receivers.
Yep.
And sacrifice to Amon-Ra. Yeah, my Bills mug was a sacrifice to Amon-Ra.
The sun god will see your way through this game today.
George Cook. Higgins is a game time decision. Do you keep Dubs in? They are both in the 1 p.m. slate. Yeah. But if Higgins plays...
only if Higgins is out. If Higgins is in, you have to play him over Dubs.
Yeah, but keep Dubs in right now. Don't swap him out and then have to play that game. Keep the safe play in and swap out if Higgins is ruled in, and we'll let you know if that happens if you continue to tune in.
Yeah, if Higgins is active, you got to play Higgins.
Yep. Mike Lopez, good to see you.
What's up,
Ryan Labaseur, PPR, pick 2. DJ Moore, Kareem Hunt, Tyler Boyd, Garrett Wilson.
Well, Hunt
and Boyd, especially if Higgins is out.
Yeah. or less than 100. Even if he's in, he might be less than 100%. I feel like Garrett Wilson has had a quiet couple of weeks since his big week 2. Am I correct on that? Yeah, a couple of quiet weeks, a couple of weeks in a row. I mean, 4 targets, 6 targets. He got 11 targets week 4, week 3. He was only able to turn it into 6 for 60.
That was Flacco again, though. That was a different QB.
Yeah, so since Wilson has returned, 2 for 41, 3 for 27. I think we need to see a little bit more from Garrett Wilson with Zach Wilson before we go back to the well. And those were 2 great matchups on paper that Wilson did not fire in, so I don't think he can be considered today. And DJ Moore needs to be on the pine until further notice. It's not his fault. It's his situation. Hunt and Boyd. Yeah, Hunt and Boyd.
Yeah, with these Jets wide receivers, I kind of just think there's too many.
Right
now. There's a little bit of a logjam right now. Right, with Corey Davis, with Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson, I think we're waiting until next season to see them be the true 1-2 punch, and with Corey Davis possibly out of the situation altogether due to a cut or anything like that, trade.
And he's giving them a reason to keep him around. He's over 70 yards receiving in 3 of 5 games, and again, I know 2 of those were with Flacco, but 1 was with Wilson, so.
Yeah, there's reason to keep him through the 2024 season.
Absolutely. He's just very solid.
So we really might be waiting on those 2, Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson, until, 2024.
Or, we might be waiting on, it might be more that we're waiting on. Wilson was at least a top 12 pick. Moore was he was like the 33rd, 34th pick. So no slouch there as far as draft capital, but there is a difference. I don't know. This
we'll
is
see.
Speculation at this point.
Yep. But Anthony Garcia, you have Stevenson and Hall in full PPR. Starter sit Kamara or Joe.
Is that Mixon?
If it's Joe Mixon, then I think I'm going Joe Mixon over Kamara right now. Even though Kamara is kind of the only engine on that offense, touches. I think we're gonna see another week where Taysom Hill possibly steals the touches that have the most value.
Yeah,
Kareem Hunt hasn't been himself yet.
Last week.
We're seeing Mark Ingram and other players involved for the Saints.
I think you've got to play Kamara with them down everybody. He's going to get 30 touches. He got 29 last week and turned it into damn near 200 yards from scrimmage. 103 on the ground, 91 through the air on 6 catches. I know Seattle is a terrible defense. Cincinnati is better. But at home,
I didn't see what Kamara did last week.
Kamara popped last week in it
21
was a great
points.
Matchup. It was a great matchup, but it's Alvin Kamara.
6 for 91. Yeah, that's a Kamara game. We were waiting for that.
I
was not aware that Kamara went off last week with Andy Dalton and Taysom Hill in the fold.
I would say the guy that you might have to sit is Mixon. The Saints are actually not giving up a ton of points now. Mixon's a stud, but Ramondre Stevenson needs to be started with no Damian Harris against a Browns defense that is giving up lots of points. And Breece Hall, I mean, we know what he did last week and has been doing. I hate to do this because I love the guy and I've been in his corner for longer than most, but I think I gotta sit Mixon.
I love what Breece Hall has been doing, but I'm playing Kamara and Mixon over Breece. Kamara, Mixon, and Stevenson over Breece.
All right, we're split.
I love what Mixon's been doing, and outside of most weeks, I think I'd be fine with what you're suggesting. Green Bay is kind of a difficult matchup.
The middle of the road. The Saints are a tougher matchup by the numbers. Mixon is obviously Mixon's a more proven player.
He's more of a workhorse, so I'm willing to kind of forgive that.
Sure. Kamara and Stevenson are firmly in for me, Anthony. And then
I'm going Mixon over Hall.
It's a tough call between Mixon or Hall. Mixon's the proven workhorse in a tougher matchup. Breece Hall is on absolute fire right now. Does still have Michael Carter mixing in. But Breece looks spectacular right now.
He does. I can't even. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough call. I think it's going to be a gut check call for you, Anthony, as far as like you're going to have to you have to make it. I don't want to pitch it back to you, but go with your gut here. I think Kamara and Stevenson have to be in, and then there's arguments for and against Mixon and Hall. I think I would lean Hall, although I don't love the idea of sitting Mixon, and John is in on starting Mixon and sitting Hall. So we're split on that. Not that I'm like firmly sit Joe Mixon, but I guess I would lean it. It's 4 good options. Let's call it that.
Very good options. Yep.
So.
And most weeks, I mean, again, and when Damian Harris comes back, you're going to be sitting Stevenson in favor of all 3 of those guys.
But this week, you got to play him against the Browns defense that is giving up lots of points.
So I'm sitting Hall, even though I don't want to. I'm sitting Hall. Chris Kreider, Pitts or Hurst? I'm playing Pitts.
You gotta
talent tier break.
Yeah, you gotta just play Pitts and hope for the best. Hurst is on the injury report. We don't know the level of severity of whatever he's dealing with. What was the injury he had?
Pitts? I'm not aware.
Hurst.
I'm not aware.
Well, Pitts had a hamstring last week, but he practiced all this week, so he's fine. Hurst, it's a groin injury. Pitts.
Yep. He's healthy, so you're playing Pitts.
Hold your nose and hope for the best.
Matisse, have PPR for the flex spot. Ayuk, Najee Harris, ETN. ETN.
Yeah, ETN. Play the dude who's getting more snaps, more opportunities, pass catching upside. He's been more involved pretty much like every subsequent week since week 1. ETN.
And we got another ETN question, so I'm just going to get to it. Sam says, hey, all, have PPR, Singletary, or ETN? ETN.
ETN. I mean, Singletary's in a potential shootout.
Which means he might get phased out of the offense.
Yeah, he could catch passes. He proved he could do that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but that was a week where Gabe Davis was hobbled and they didn't have Jamison Crowder and then Isaiah Mitchell, not Isaiah Mitchell. Isaiah McKenzie.
Yeah, they have their full complement of catchers today.
So, yeah.
Yeah, ETN. And no Marvin Jones, so maybe a couple more looks his way in the receiving game. Yeah, ETN.
But back up to Sad J, and we got to Anthony Garcia's whole situation, so I hope that helps, man. Sad J Cutler, happy Sunday to you too.
What's up, Sad J?
Standard League, Amari Cooper or George Pickens. You're worried about Julio Jones. Don't be. Perfect. And the Pats D taking Cooper out.
That's their cornerback, not Julio. You're playing Cooper.
Yeah, I'm playing Cooper.
You're playing Cooper. He's a target hog, like wide receiver 1. Yeah, I think he's got 10 targets or more in 3 of his past 4 games. They're at home.
It's Cooper and Njoku are must starts in this offense at this point.
Yup.
Pickens ain't quite there yet. I love what he's been doing. I am high on what he will do this week, but Cooper and Njoku in that offense must starts. And Sam, hope our
hope that helps.
Hope that helps. Riley VIP, Rondale Moore or Drake London PPR. Drake London, man.
I guess.
I know Rondale got 8 targets last week or 9, caught 8 balls.
Yeah. 72 yards, I think, something like that.
Yeah, but I'm going back to Drake London. I mean, with Kyle Pitts there, at least that means that he's not dealing with so much defensive pressure on a play-to-play basis. Maybe that leaves him open for more of that 33% target share that he was working on through the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, London. Don't expect a ceiling game, though. The 49ers are giving up the fewest passing yards in the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's not a good passing offense in Atlanta, but at least London is the guy.
Box of chocolate. What do you think of Melvin Gordon rest of season? He's an RB2 with RB1 upside weekly.
Yeah, he just needs to. I mean,
that he's given. He's
dealing with some injury issues at the moment. Ribs and neck are what he's currently on the injury report for. So that's a little dicey for this Monday night. But I mean, yeah, like you said, Javonte Williams is gone. He's not coming back this year. And whoever they bring in, short of a trade for Christian McCaffrey, whoever they bring in is not going to supplant Gordon.
Or something like that, right?
I don't even think Cam Akers supplants Melvin Gordon right now.
Just coming in for some kind of competition, because I don't think Mike Boone or Latavius Murray present a ton of competition.
Yeah, right now Mike Boone is intriguing and showed a little something last Thursday.
But he's also 27 years old. Like, he's the same age as Gordon.
Yeah, or maybe
one year younger, but still, it's not like he's some 25-year-old running back. Like,
no, or
lightly utilized throughout his career, sure, but.
Well, now's his opportunity.
Yeah, I'm just not willing to throw all my weight behind Mike Boone like I am a Deion Jackson this week or something like that. Considering Melvin Gordon is injured.
This week, yeah. I mean, and you can't wait potentially on Mike Boone just because Melvin Gordon might sit tomorrow night.
Right.
Even though he's expected to play. But as far as the rest of the season, yeah, I mean, he should firmly be a top 20 option moving forward.
Yep.
He had 100. It felt gross because it was a stupid Thursday night game with no scoring, but he had 100 yards from scrimmage. So, yeah. Top 20 option.
12-man, 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex. Melvin Gordon, McKenzie, Boyd, KJ Osborne, Shakir for the flex.
You got it. So I would play Gordon, and if you need a pivot, be prepared to drop the last dude on your bench in the event that Melvin Gordon is ruled out for Latavius Murray, so that you at least have a play.
If he's available, something like that.
I would think Latavius Murray's available.
If he's not, last-ditch effort, Kelly.
Kelly, sure.
Yeah, looks to be the number 2 there for what that's worth. So he's a last-ditch dart throw.
I am willing to wait on Gordon Monday night because he is expected to play. That is the report. He's questionable for the game, but expected to play. But yeah, be prepared to swerve to either Latavius Murray first and then Joshua Kelly second if you need to. But I'm willing to roll the dice because he's got RB2 upside.
And Anthony, glad that you trust us. Hopefully we steer you in the right direction. Jacob Self, I'm going Miles Sanders here. I'm with you. Miles Sanders.
Yeah, Miles Sanders. I
love what Jacoby Myers has been doing this season when he's been playing. Garrett Wilson, I can't trust right now. I can't.
Yeah, can't trust Wilson. And, with Myers, I mean, he is a PPR monster.
But Bailey Zappi or Jalen Hurts, I'm going the running back with Jalen Hurts, even if Jalen Hurts vultures a touchdown or 2.
I'll go with the guy. Yeah, I'll go with the guy who's been an RB1 through the first month.
Yeah. Yep.
Sanders.
The RB12, I think.
Yeah.
Tyler, should I trade away Derrick Henry for Josh Jacobs and Amon-Ra St. Brown PPR?
Yes. You're getting
I think so.
You're getting both Jacobs and Amon-Ra.
When Amon-Ra comes back, that's a wide receiver 1 and a running back 1 for a running back 1.
Yeah, make that trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, make that trade.
And Juice, Christian Kirk or Waddle? I'm going Christian Kirk this week, though it is closer week to week once Tua gets back, which should happen after week 8.
Yep.
But for this week, Christian Kirk. For the next few weeks, Christian
Kirk. Until
Tua, not even Bridgewater. Until Tua comes back, Christian Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk. And no Marvin Jones again. Just calling it out.
Yep. Anthony Garcia, the reason why I got good running backs is you traded Pittman for Kamara straight up. So you got Stevenson and Joe Mixon and Breece Hall, but also had Javonte Williams.
Okay.
Oh, and then that's what made you trade away Pittman.
You
got
Javonte.
Or Kenneth Walker was a great waiver wire pick this week.
Oh, you have Walker too.
Oh man, all right.
Jesus.
Does that change things for you?
You need to trade a couple of those guys for a stud wide receiver.
Does that change things for you?
Yeah, trade Mixon and Walker for like Diggs.
Saquon.
Or that. Yeah. Or Stevenson. Whatever. I would trade at one of those running backs with something else to look for an upgrade. I mean, yes, it's always good to have strong running back depth, but if you have 5 dudes with RB1 upside, parlay that into an anchor somewhere else.
2 dudes with the lead option, with the lead RB1 upside, or like a Kelsey or something like that.
Sure. Shoot
Andrews.
for the moon.
And Randy Miller, Thielen or London?
Thielen. I
think he scores a TD this week.
I'll just go with the vet
Higgins over Thielen if he plays. If Higgins plays, yes.
Yes.
But I guess I go with you, Thielen.
Let me just check the weather in Miami. If it's gross, then maybe I go back to London, who at least is playing in a dome. But Thielen is much better matchup, much safer play for me this week. Okay, yeah. Like I suspected yesterday, the storm has cleared out of Miami. Last night they were calling for a 25% chance of rain this time, or for at kickoff. It's now down to 7%. Winds are up to around 14 miles per hour, so that is a little bit of a concern, but not enough for me to be that worried about it. Higgins, then Thielen, then London in that order. Higgins if he's in, Thielen if Higgins is out.
There you go. And Anthony Garcia, you have a strong feeling CMC is going to get dealt, but where do you think he goes?
But not to those teams. Not to those teams. The Bills don't have the cap space. The Rams don't have the draft picks.
San Fran?
Maybe.
I'm thinking something like that. Not the Bills or the Rams, though.
Nino
Tropiano, Tyler Algier, or Deion Jackson PPR. Deion Jackson.
Yeah, dude, play the dude who's looking at a 1A opportunity.
Deion Jackson.
In a safer situation.
Drew L pick 2 for your flex. Higgins, Dobbins, Lazard, Thielen, Hunt.
Higgins for sure if he's in. And then I was gonna say the first 2. Your scoring situation would help.
In which case, PPR, you're going Lazard.
If it's PPR, I'm going Lazard. If it's like
Higgins,
standard
Lazard.
or even half, I guess I'm okay with Dobbins.
And if Higgins isn't playing, then it's Dobbins, Lazard, easy. So you got a solid top 3 there. Sad J, you are very welcome. Hope that suggestion helps.
Yep.
Yeah, we're all waiting for Pickens to break out. Maybe it's this week.
I think he's already broken out. I can't sit Cooper yet for him.
Nobody's going to truly break out in that offense this season. So you have to keep that in mind. I mean, Deontay Johnson's been getting 11, 12 targets a week. Wide receiver 1 workload, he's just been performing like a wide receiver 2 because the quarterback plays bad. And it got better, but how much better? I think it might have just swung more into Pickens' favor than anything. Because Pickens was probably playing with him on the scout team and second team and stuff in the offseason. Trade Pierce for Walker and ETN? Yes.
If you can get both, then yeah.
Yes. Do it.
If you can get both, then yeah. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yep.
And flex spot McKinnon or Algier. Excuse me. Sorry, we're still waking up here. Algier.
I guess Algier. McKinnon's getting lots of snaps though, and this could be a game where he gets a little bit more utilized against the Bills.
With no Cordell Patterson, I know Algier is not exciting, hasn't had any boom weeks. Maybe this is the week where he scores a touchdown with his 30 yards rushing.
Maybe.
I think I'm going Algier just because of the workload that he's playing with. McKinnon might get a little bit more, up-tempo work because it is against the Bills, but maybe the running backs just get phased out altogether.
I mean, he is there. He had 8 carries for 53 yards last week, which was by far his best performance on the ground so far this season, and then 2 for 19 through the air. So he gave you almost 75 total yards from scrimmage last week. I think he gets utilized a little bit more today. And I guess I would just, I guess I would chase the even if he's a less inspiring player, he's in the better offense. I think I would go McKinnon. It feels gross. It really does. I don't feel great about this. But if these are your options, give me the pass catching back in what's expected to be a shootout. Like, I'll take a guy attached to Patrick Mahomes over a guy.
The safe play Algier, high upside play McKinnon, depending on what you need this week.
I would think I would go McKinnon and just hope that the snaps convert into. I think I would play McKinnon and hope that the snaps that he's getting, which is a lot. Let me confirm this, like as far as the amount of snaps McKinnon has been receiving, and just hope that it translates. Okay, he's played 50% of the snaps in 3 of 5 weeks, including last week, and he's only got 10 fewer snaps than Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the season, and he's clearly ahead of Isaiah Pacheco, who he has outsnapped every game so far this year. And I wouldn't expect Pacheco to be heavily involved in a game like this today. McKinnon, he's the change of pace back in that offense. I guess they have 2 change of pace backs in that offense.
I guess it's.
Give me the dude.
Just go high upside, McKinnon. Yeah. I guess Algier doesn't present much upside. He never has.
Not against San Francisco, too. That's a tough
Even
matchup.
in good matchups, Algier really doesn't present much upside. It's just kind of a touchdown or bust option.
I'm going McKinnon. Feels weird, but I'll go McKinnon.
And Anthony Garcia, don't do that. I like Higbee, but don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. I would literally take a 0 at tight end if I had to just keep Walker for now. If that's what it had to come to.
Yeah.
I don't want to drop Walker. Rashad Penny, like Javonte Williams, Rashad Penny is gone.
I'd rather take the 0 at tight end this week because most people are operating at under 5 points for their tight end anyway. So
I mean, if you're 0-5, then like if you're 0-5, then or something, or 1-4, if you're desperate for a win, then yeah, get a tight end in there just to give yourself a chance. But I'm not dropping Walker.
And you got Lamar at QB, Jacob Self, Kamara, Aaron Jones starting with Lockett and Waddle at wide receiver this week, Sanders at the flex, Myers and Wilson on the bench. Do I keep in Waddle? Do you put in Myers over Waddle? Now, they're both dealing with
backup quarterbacks.
Third-string quarterbacks, but I think I have more faith in...
I think this is a talent. This is a
Waddle.
Talent thing. I got to go Waddle.
I know Jacoby Myers last week, was it a 20-point week?
It was. In a great matchup against Detroit. Play everybody against Detroit. Yeah, he had 7 for 111 and a touchdown.
Yeah, playing Cleveland is a slightly better matchup for him. Or not better, but still good matchup for him.
It's not a bad matchup by the numbers.
But
Cleveland's given up lots of points.
Talent tier break for you? For Waddle?
Minnesota's, man. I think I gotta hold my nose and play Waddle. Myers presents an interesting argument, but Waddle is a talent level tier break here.
Yeah, there's an argument to be made, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
And yeah, Rojo, we're of the same belief as you.
Oh, the backup. Yeah. Yep.
No. With Higgins.
Oh, you don't think he's playing?
I don't think he's playing. Again, why would they play that? Why would they play with that? But still, regardless, yeah, I mean, I agree with your your comment about redraft leagues as well.
Yeah, we'll see about Higgins. I don't know. I mean, he returned to practice on Friday. Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Michael Bernardo, would you trade Zach Ertz, Christian Kirk, and Alvin Kamara for Mark Andrews and Deebo Samuel?
Who are your other running backs?
That is a large upgrade at tight end.
That's a significant upgrade at tight end, and it's
an
upgrade at wide receiver.
Yeah, but you're losing an RB1, and that's tough.
Who are your other running backs? Let us know.
If you're in a situation like Anthony Garcia, then that's fine. But if you're not, then maybe you hold on
Who are your other running backs? Let us know.
Mark, full PPR. James Robinson or Drake London in my flex, Drake London. And you also have Isaiah McKenzie, but you're playing against Josh Allen. Drake London.
London.
Yep.
Robinson's snaps have been going down, and his efficiency along with it. And despite the bad matchup, I can't play Isaiah McKenzie over Drake London.
Yeah.
London.
And yo, Anthony, I'm glad we helped you. And yeah. Man, that's those sleeper drafts are fun. I'm doing very bad in those leagues.
In our members league, I'm doing quite well.
I'm doing terrible. Relying in a Superflex league with a bonus for quarterbacks, relying on Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz didn't turn out to be the right decision for me.
It backfired.
No.
Yeah, those are two dudes that Wentz had a good week one, but it's been a rough going, especially for Ryan.
Yeah, that week one victory lap was a long time ago.
Yeah. I like my team. P. Diddy, if you're out there, I'm coming for that top spot.
Cali Loco, is Maher, the kicker for Dallas, viable versus the Eagles? Need 2 to 3 points, or should I pivot to Patterson on the Jags? Kicker,
Maher's viable. Maher's viable. I could see a situation where the Dallas offense stalls here and there. In like a bend but don't break situation for the Eagles defense. What has Maher been doing? I guess he's been fine. The Cowboys have been moving the ball with some relative consistency with Cooper Rush. Wow. I mean, Maher 15, 12, and 12, 11, 15, 12, and 12. Now, I didn't realize this, but the Eagles are actually dead last in kicker points allowed. So they're playing incredibly well at home and just in general. So it is a little dicey, but the Cowboys present a different type of opponent than most of the teams that the Eagles have started the season off with so far. So I do think Maher's viable. I wouldn't expect a 12 to 15 point week, but if you're saying you just need 2 to 3 points, I think you can get you 5 to 7 with upside for 10. Yeah, I would say he's viable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's viable. I would not pivot. I don't know. A random dude on Jacksonville, I can't get behind that.
Even
though it isn't a dome.
Dallas has been fine.
Yeah. Don't expect a stealing game, but he should be fine.
Jacob Self, which Wilson is that? Is that Russell Wilson? Is that Garrett Wilson? Is that Jeff Wilson? Is that?
Yeah.
I'd be trying to keep if it was Jeff Wilson. But, I mean, the trade package for Garrett Wilson and ETN, trade package for Russell Wilson and ETN.
Yeah, we need a little bit more context.
But I'd be shooting for an upgrade at running back, get into that escalated tier, get into that right now, Derrick Henry, get into that CMC, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley range.
Yeah, Taylor's absolutely a guy worth trying to get on a buy low if somebody's frustrated with him, especially with the developments of this week. Practiced all week, ruled out.
Yep.
Somebody could be hitting the panic button. You never know. But yeah, we need a little bit more context. If it's a common, Jacob, this isn't just for you. This is anybody. If it's a common last name, Wilson, Smith, Robinson, well, we need the full name. We need the full name for context. Appreciate it.
Yep.
And Anthony, you're playing Gabe Davis over Waddle without a second thought.
I would agree. Roach Cheetah, YouTube, YT, I'm guessing that's what that stands for. Dawson Knox or Tunyon. This week, It's very close to a toss-up, where in past weeks it probably was Edge Tunyon. Dawson Knox has done very close to nothing through the last few weeks, but it looks like Dawson Knox has a chance to actually do something this week against
at least
what should be a shootout, right?
At least it's got shootout potential.
And then the team could be keying in on Gabe Davis to make sure he doesn't do what he did last week or last game. The last game that they played with them, going off for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. So maybe they try to limit him, and it allows Dawson Knox to have
he's on their mind.
Yep.
Knox, but if he doesn't fire today, he can comfortably be dropped, and you don't have to look back.
Yep.
Knox for today, shootout. The game has an over-under of 54. Points are expected today. Knox for one more week.
And Rojo Fish, they threw the ball 50 times last week. That wasn't a complete blowout. We are expecting something similar to happen this week against the Buccaneers. So it could happen for Pickens. It really could.
I mean, we believe in him.
Yeah.
But in the case of like him or a guy like Amari Cooper, I can't pull that trigger on Pickens just yet.
Jeremy Cruz, who do I sit in non-PPR? Ayuk or James Robinson? You said Ayuk.
Or Pierce.
Oh, or Pierce. Oh. Ayuk. In non-PPR, I think you still play both of those running backs.
That's Alec Pierce. It's got to, because Damian Pierce is on bye.
Then you sit Pierce.
I feel like Ayuk's been kind of quiet recently, mostly because Jimmy Garoppolo sucks. Ayuk, 4 targets last week, 3 for 58, 4 targets the week before, 4 for 37. I'm calling my shot. I'm sitting Ayuk. He hasn't topped 65 yards
Pierce?
Receiving this year.
Wow.
Yeah, at least Alec Pierce has back-to-back 80 receiving yard games. It is a great matchup, though, against Atlanta. The problem is Jimmy Garoppolo is not a competent quarterback. That's the biggest
But Atlanta's making incompetent quarterbacks look great.
All right.
I'm going Ayuk, man. Yeah, I mean, he has the track record, back-to-back 800-yard seasons. I know Pierce has back-to-back 80-yard weeks, but back-to-back 800-yard seasons speaks to me a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm
good matchup.
Yeah, I'm going James Robinson and Pierce, or James Robinson and Ayuk.
Too. Yeah, James Robinson and Ayuk. I think Pierce is gonna. I think he gets another 60 to 65 today, but Ayuk is a little bit more proven, and it's a spectacular matchup.
Yep.
Yeah, sit Pierce.
And Anthony D-Hop coming back next week. If you drafted him, I hope you've been holding him. Hope you haven't traded him, and I hope he comes back full strength. I think he will.
I'm not playing him over Cooper Kupp and Gabe Davis next week, but I mean, you drafted him for a reason. At a discount with wide receiver 1 expectations. You want him in your lineup the second he's made active.
Absolutely.
I know my dynasty team is excited to get him back.
Cali Loco, do you trust Mike Williams versus Denver or pivot to Dylan in the flex PPR? I'm definitely trusting Mike Williams versus Denver.
You can't play both?
But if I have to choose, it's Mike Williams easy. And it's not. I don't have to deliberate much.
And Keenan Allen's not returning this week. I'm not worried about. I mean, Patrick Surtain's a damn good cornerback. You're playing a dude with top 8 upside. In Mike Will. And in full PPR, or you didn't say full PPR. Or
it says
maybe
flex
it is
PPR. I thought that was meant. That was what it meant.
Mike Will.
Mike Will.
If he does disappear this week, go down with the ship, which I know is not what you want to hear, but fire him up with confidence.
And Anthony, I don't think that's something we're going to have to worry about again anymore. I think D-Hop's just coming back. He made a mistake and he's good and we're ready to go now.
And it wasn't roids. It was like a supplement.
No, it was a supplement that was misadvertised,
mislabeled, or whatever.
Maybe mixed in a factory where there were trace elements of something else that was mixed in the same vat and it got cross-contaminated, and that's what they were dealing with.
It wasn't even roids. He just, So I don't think this is a
Will Fuller
situation where you have to worry about his, does he drop off?
Yeah, it's not a Will Fuller situation.
age is more of a concern than that. And I'm not concerned about that because he's only he's still 29, or did he hit? Did D-Hop turn 30?
Yeah, I think so.
Did he has earned the benefit of the doubt though.
Yes, last year he was wide receiver 30 before he got injured, so I'm fine with continuing to roll with him. Or wide receiver 10 before he got injured.
Wide receiver 10, yeah, before he got hurt. Yeah. So yeah, he's earned the benefit of the doubt.
Yep. And Iron, you're jealous of us. We can watch Terrifier 2 in Europe. You have to wait. I don't even know what that is.
I don't even know what. Oh, I don't know what that is either.
What's the Terrifier 2? I got to do some Google.
Is that just a
research
movie to get you through your afternoon?
in between all your mid-season drafts, Iron.
Right.
Anthony Escudero down bad this week in one of my leagues, starting both Dalvin Cook and Madison. Can't trust Edmonds, and Pierce is on bye.
Dang.
I mean, Madison's getting more work as a standalone player than we've ever seen. So I guess if you have to do it, this is the year in their respective careers where, all right, you roll with it.
Yeah.
And Tim Shields, thank you very much for the
Tim.
super. Picked up
Appreciate
Boyd
that.
off waivers, didn't need him, so I traded Pittman, Clyde, and Boyd for Chase and Pickens. Okay. Cool.
I mean,
yeah, good job.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that.
Losing Clyde might hurt a little bit. Running back depth is always a little dicey to trade away, but Chase is Chase. Enough said.
Yep.
Pickens is one of the most high upside, rookie wideouts in this class, and has showed plenty so far. It's a good move. And Boyd was a free pickup for you, so he's you're not losing much by including him in the deal. To get his better teammate in Chase. Pittman's been an underperforming wide receiver, not his fault, but he's been underperforming. Clyde has been firing, although he did have a quiet week last week, and you could probably expect he has but he might have a quiet day today in a tough matchup, although I do think he will be involved as a receiver. But I mean, Pickens looks great. I don't know what else.
He does.
I can't. He should leapfrog Chase Claypool on the depth chart if he hasn't already.
He already has.
He hasn't already.
He already has.
Yeah. So I'm good with it.
The question is whether or not he's going to leapfrog Deontay Johnson at some point. That is the real question.
I'm not ready
at
to
this
go
point.
there. Yeah, I'm not ready to go there.
The target discrepancy is close. 8 targets to 10 to 12 targets, 10 to 11 targets. Just needs to make up a 3-target difference between the two. We could start seeing weeks where they flip-flop. We really could. And Jacob Self, thank you very much. Good luck to you as well. And also, again, thank you very much for the super, Tim. Much appreciated.
Very much
that was very nice of you.
Thank you so much.
Anthony, you've won back-to-back years on championships since you turned into us.
Hey.
Thank you very much for the compliment. I'm glad that we've helped you.
I'm gonna rip multiple shots for that today.
Absolutely, and we're gonna help you get to number 3.
That.
We're gonna help you get to number 3, and Cam Newton. No, it's
not
happening.
Cam, but
it's not happening.
Yeah, I love Cam, but it's over.
Yep.
Sadly.
Yep. Michael Bernardo, Jonathan Taylor, or Jeff Wilson. Jonathan Taylor's not playing.
No. Well, this is the Dizzy trade. Kamara, Ertz, and who else for Debo and Mark Andrews? Man, I think you got to find a way to keep Kamara because Taylor is now 2 weeks
on the shelf, and Jeff Wilson
on the shelf.
Close
and
to
Jeff
being...
Wilson, we like. He's been firing. He's been great, but TDP returns today, and Elijah Mitchell is on his way.
And
back.
he's not going to get phased out, but he is going to just have competition. And
he's
it's not
going to
be such
back.
a steady RB2 option. He's going to be more of a volatile RB2 option.
I like the path that you're trying to go down. I don't think you can part with Kamara.
Try to part with Jeff Wilson right now if you want to part with one.
You might have to ask for less, but but agreed.
Kylie Loco, is Zay Jones droppable? I may need to find room for a running back I mean, do you need to for the running back room if he isn't ruled out? I mean, yeah, he's droppable.
Do you need a guy this week? Like, do you
try to pick him up when you drop after you drop him, but like he's droppable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess yeah. Do you like? Is there a glaring name out there where it's like I feel like he needs to be rostered? Then sure. If it's you're picking up DJ Dallas, then I might as well keep Zay Jones. Well, actually,
I don't. You can drop Zay Jones. That's all right. Sorry.
Yeah.
This week is a week where you would want to play him, but if you need to drop him, then drop him.
Yeah.
Depending on what you need. And yeah, that is awesome, Anthony. And Riley VIP, thank you very much for the support. Much appreciated. And
thanks,
we're
Riley.
always glad to help you answer all these questions. It's fun for us. So we're glad that we're able to help you and bring some success to you guys too.
Yeah, this is the best part of I mean, not the start of kickoff at 1:00 is the best part of the day, but this is a pretty good follow up. Yeah,
it is.
I mean, talking shop, hanging out with people, hopefully helping people. I mean, admittedly, we're not going to get everything right. You guys know that.
Yeah, y'all know that.
Yeah. Do, but we think our process is pretty solid. We like talking through these things with all you fine people, and we appreciate your guys' engagement and coming and thinking enough of us to come hang out.
Absolutely.
So appreciate it, Riley.
And yeah, I'm back again. No, it's not gonna happen. And that is awesome, Rojo. We agree. Good job to Anthony.
Yeah.
Thank you again to Anthony. Emi Atigbe, start 2 wide receivers and 1 flex. Judy, Pickens, ETN, Zay Jones, Romeo Doubs, and Gallup, full PPR. And that is with
ETN.
CeeDee Lamb playing this week for all y'all who missed that disclaimer earlier on.
He's in. Yep.
I'm playing
ETN is in your flex. And
I'm playing
and you
Pickens.
And Gallup? I think I gotta go Judy and Pickens. Call me a sucker for hate or for pain, but I think I'll go back to the well with Judy. Gallup's in a pretty brutal matchup. Doubs, I like Doubs. There's a talent level difference between Judy and Doubs. Zay Jones, I think you can safely leave on the bench. Pickens, I think, has to be in.
Pickens and ETN are absolutely in. It's a question for me of, do you play Zay Jones when there's no Marvin Jones?
Man, I can't
or
play
do you
Zay
go
over
Judy
or Gallup or Dobbs. Zay is not in play for me here. I know he might catch a bomb, but these other 3 names are a little more intriguing for me.
Fair.
I think I'm holding my nose, sucking it up, Emmy, and playing Judy. I don't feel great about it, but at least he's, there's a talent level tier break here for me.
Yeah, I can see it.
3 for 53 last week in a bad Thursday night game. He's got 10 days rest. J.C. Jackson's going to be on Cortland Sutton, so that might open things up for him. And actually, the Chargers are, close to the top 10 in fantasy production allowed to wide receivers. So the matchup is also not scary at all. And that's a sneaky potential shootout. I'll go Judy and Pickens.
I guess fine. I'm confident about ETN and Pickens. If you have to choose, then Judy. And we are getting supers left and right. Thank you guys for being so generous.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so
Alex,
much.
for the most recent one. Yeah, we're very happy to provide that to you. Thank you very much for the support.
You.
And Tim, no problems to you. Full PPR. Now you have Herbert, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Godwin, Montgomery, Walker, Goddard, Deontay, Bench, Carter, Brian Robinson, James Robinson,
I like
Pickens,
this a lot.
Jameson Williams, or
that's gotta be
Javonte
J-Mo on IR. I think it's J-Mo. There's no reason to call out Javonte at this point. No, this is a very strong team, Tim. I would say the wide receivers are spectacular.
Very
Do
good.
nothing
Very
with
good.
Godwin other than keep firing him up. Running backs are Monty makes me a little nervous, but you might be able to just replace him with Brian Robinson as soon as next week. So I think you're fine here. I would maybe want if I'm hoping today Eno fires and maybe you try to trade Eno and JMO to the James Conner owner for like a better running back or, you know, something
Possibly.
like that.
Yeah, I could see
right?
that.
Something like that. But otherwise, I mean, I'd say you're in pretty good shape. Goddard's one of the safest tight ends who's not a top 2. Yeah, I like the team, Tim. Running backs are a little thin, but you got Walker. That's good. You got B-Rob. That's good. You got some depth options in Carter, and we'll see what, you know, maybe James Robinson, you know, it's a long season, right? Yeah, looks good.
And Anthony Garcia, thank you again for the super as well. You just threw in there
Anthony.
too. So, hey, thank you everybody for the support.
Appreciate it.
We really
Anthony.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
And happy that, you know, that's the type of, you know, when we hear that we help people win, not just win games, win leagues,
win championships. Yep.
That's what, that's why we do this. This is what it's all about.
Yep. Absolutely.
Helping people win.
That's almost as good as us winning it
and
ourselves. You know what I mean? Like that's a win for us. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
And me and Tigbe, Patriots DST or Bengals DST? I think I'm going Bengals DST.
I guess the Bengals against a decimated Saints offense, Emmy. Yeah. Bengals against a decimated Saints offense. Now let's see if they can stop the let's see if they can run, you know, the Saints are going to call halfback dive 30 times today for Taysom Hill. Let's see if they can figure out a way to stop
active.
It. Might be a backup.
He's active.
Let's see here what's going on.
As the Saints backup. All right.
As the backup, yeah. That makes sense. I don't think you could fire him up now.
Yeah, but Rojo says, screwed me in Facemask League. I mean...
did you fire up Fields or Wentz? Was that? Or
I mean, he's still a backup. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not going to play anyway, most likely.
And Mark, I'm glad we could help. Greg Z, happy Sunday to you too. Two questions. Greg? First, with Olave out, should you start Jackson, running back in Indy, or
is that Dubs?
I think. But clarify that. But yeah, Deion Jackson's a solid RB2.
Yeah, that's fine.
Start.
Yeah.
And Minnesota defense or New England. I'm playing Minnesota, man.
Yeah, against Miami with Skylar Thompson. I know it's on the road for them, but I'll take a defense who's playing pretty well against a third strainer. Jacoby Brissett is actually a matchup to avoid. I mean,
he's
based
good,
on the numbers.
Man. He's playing at his ceiling right now. And
he's solid.
I expect that to continue.
All over. Yeah, he's not hurt. He doesn't hurt the Browns' offense. He's doing exactly what the Browns need him to do, which is like just get by. And that's coming at the expense of fantasy production for opposing defenses. Brissett is actually a matchup to avoid.
Yeah, he is.
So the Vikings.
And Minnesota, we got that. Jacob Sodini, Isaiah McKenzie, DJ Moore, or Kenneth Walker pick 2. The last 2.
Yeah.
Even in a shootout for the Bills, I cannot advocate McKenzie over DJ Moore, with DJ Moore having
too far of a drop off.
Right, with getting a quarterback change, so they might, spark something there. And him just having the historical stats that he does. 3 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, 3 seasons with 4 touchdowns only. But the consistency is unmatched, so you got to go back to DJ Moore in that situation. But Kenneth Walker's solid start there.
Yes, absolutely, and is a no-brainer given those other 2 options. But yeah, I'll go Moore as well if Isaiah McKenzie is my other option. I like McKenzie, but potentially the 4th pass catching option versus the 1st.
Sleek, full PPR start 1, Deontay, Waddle, or Pittman. Deontay pretty easy for me at this point.
Yeah, give me the guy he's been in at least in half PPR. Deontay has been a wide receiver 2, like I think every game except for 1 this year. So let's rock with the steady presence, the steady producer in Deontay, who has just missed on a couple of touchdowns. So it could come today against the Bucs secondary that's actually coming into this game pretty banged up.
And Michael Bernardo, your other running backs are Jonathan Taylor, Jeff Wilson, and Brian Robinson, Khalil Herbert. Probably going to drop Khalil Herbert.
Don't drop
I don't want to drop Khalil Herbert.
Don't drop Khalil Herbert. He's the best running back in Chicago.
But were you asking about Darren Waller and
this was the Kamara trade?
No. Okay, got you. Yeah, that's a 3-for-1, so that allows you to free up some space too, so you don't have to consider dropping a guy like a Herbert. So
yeah,
go for it.
But
Xavier, what Kamara. You got your comments cut off.
Oh hell, we don't know what happened with that. He said he got it cut off. I didn't see them.
I don't see them either. Throw them back in the chat. That is not
repost, and we'll prioritize.
That is not us.
And we'll drop down to them.
Doing that, man. We
yeah, sorry.
You know how we roll. We want to get to every comment, every question, and we don't skip.
He's got a question down here at the very end. I'm just gonna do right now. Mackenzie or Dubs or AJ Dillon. You can only pick one. I'm going Dillon. Take the running back who's seen 15 or more touches in every game except for one.
Absolutely.
And that was a weird London game. Play Dillon. Play Dillon, Xavier. I think was that the only one from Xavier? I think so. We got a lot of questions in the chat. Just want to say appreciate everybody's patience. We will get to everybody. We just ask for a little bit of patience, and please don't repost any questions. We will get to everything.
Absolutely. And Xavier, again, sorry that happened. Greg Z, I'm going Jackson there now that you clarified.
Jackson. Still Jackson.
Yeah.
Still Jackson. You have Duvernay. I like Duvernay. Let's take a shot on a guy who has 1A opportunities in the backfield.
TSB World needs some help with the flex. Kareem Hunt or Devonta Smith, full PPR. Devonta Smith, dude.
Yeah, go Smith, and appreciate the kind words, TSB. Yeah, go with the dude who's getting 10, 11 targets 2 out of the past 3 weeks, attached to a good offense. Nothing scary about the matchup. I like Kareem Hunt. It is a bit of a tougher matchup against New England, and Kareem Hunt is a bit of an up and down player. He fired last week. Could happen again this week. But Smith is a more full-time player in his offense than Kareem is in his. And in full PPR, there's always going to be, that's always a slight edge to a wide receiver. Devontae.
And Matt K, between bye weeks and a ton of injuries, I'm in a bad way this week in a deep league.
That's okay.
Who do I start for flex? Zay Jones, Phillip Lindsay, DPJ, or Russell Gage? At this point, between those options, I am more confident in Zay Jones than any of those options. Phillip Lindsay's more of an RB4, boom bust RB4. DPJ, you can't rely on him. Russell Gage, with both Godwin and Mike Evans in the fold, and Cameron Brate and Kate Otten back fully healthy, I don't know how much of a play Russell Gage is. I think I'm going Zay Jones with no Marvin Jones. And
I kind of like DPJ this week.
I don't. But I'm going Zay Jones as the RB2 or a wide receiver 2 in that offense. I'm going Zay Jones.
Zay Jones is actually questionable with an ankle injury. Want to call that? I didn't know that either. Played through it last week to the tune of 8 targets, caught 3 of them for 12 yards. DPJ has 16 targets his past 2 games. And has turned them into usable weeks. Last week, 4 catches, 50 yards. The week before, 5 for 71. I'm gonna say DPJ. Take a shot. Since you said it yourself, you're in a bad way. Go for the dude who can. I know Zay Jones can make a big play too, but he's on the injury report with an ankle injury. Give me the other dude who can make a big play here. I'm gonna say DPJ. Take a shot. If you're down bad, or in a bad way, might as well take a shot on a dude who can catch a 40-yard bomb.
I want to see if there's another injury report or something coming out about Zay Jones before they suit up.
All right. And Gage,
I guess I wasn't aware that he was questionable for week 6. Now I see that. I want to hear something before kickoff, because the last report that I have is from October 14th at 3 o'clock, which was 2 days ago. So, I guess I agree with that. But if we get some good news on Zay Jones being fine, I'm going Zay Jones.
Now, I will say this would be the one argument for Russell Gage is the Steelers are getting obliterated by opposing wide receivers. So there is that argument for Gage. The matchup could not be better. Pittsburgh is the worst in the league for opposing wide receivers. But he's had 2 good matchups the past 2 weeks and just hasn't done anything with them. 2 for 20 last week, 2 for 24 the week before. He had 12 for 87 week 3, but that was when Mike Evans and Chris Godwin were both out of the lineup. So, and Julio. I'm gonna say DPJ makes a big catch today. It might be 1, but I'd say DPJ.
And we got quite a bit of comments accumulating here, so let's start to go a little bit more rapid fire here.
Let's do that.
Odie, Hunter, Dylan, pretty easy.
Dylan,
Tier break.
Yeah, Dylan. I think he's a little bit more reliable in that offense.
Mason
Close.
Scott, do I start Lamb with the Lamb emoji? Myers, Duvernay, or Boyd, full PPR. Lamb, tier break.
It's got to be CD. It's got to be CD. I know he's questionable, but it sounds like he's expected to play, and he's a wide receiver 1. The other guys are not.
Garth Murray in Dynasty, would you still hold on Jalen Tolbert and Chris Evans? Jalen Tolbert is a rookie, so yes, I'm still holding on Jalen Tolbert.
Yes.
Chris Evans is a 25-year-old backup, third string backup, who I don't know ever sees the role that everybody projected him to have.
Hasn't been able to beat out Samaje.
So I'm packaging him with somebody in Dynasty to get something else. I'm not trading him because earlier on in the offseason, people, I was having discussions with somebody who wouldn't take anything less than a second for him. People are still really high on Chris Evans. I know it's crazy, and I was just kind of laughed too, and it's just like, all right, that's funny.
Yeah.
I was like, you want Julio Jones? Like, no.
Nah. But a 4th round pick, like in 2024, sure.
I'm trying to package Chris Evans with somebody, even if it is just a minuscule upgrade or something like that. But I'm definitely holding Jalen Tolbert.
Absolutely.
And Ray, start 1, Taysom Hill or Alec Pierce.
Go Hill. Go Hill.
Hill. Tight end 3.
Yeah, and he's gonna get a ton of usage with the entire Saints offense out this game. So might as well go with the guy who, it's him and Kamara.
And Emmy, would you trade JT and Mark Andrews for Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, and Ingram?
That's a steep
2 and 3. Your team is Hurts, Geno, JT, ETN, Pierce, Stevenson, Brian Robinson, Kenneth Walker, Judy Bateman, Zay Jones, Pickens, Gallup, Dubs. Andrews.
Can you just do Taylor?
I get your wide receivers are a little hurting right now. I don't have confidence in Ingram. I love Breece, but that is a step down from JT as it stands right now. And you're moving from a top 2 tight end where there is a clear tier break after the top 2 to a guy who's good at Devontae Adams, but like I think it's a little too much for not enough.
I'm trying this instead, Emmy. Can you offer Taylor and Bateman for Adams and Hall? Keep Andrews. I would try that instead.
Would you rather trade Bateman or Pickens?
I don't know if Pickens gets it done. Bateman,
I think the hype train on Pickens, by what we have seen in this chat thus far, is as kind of a heat map is pretty.
All right, fine. JT.
I would try Pickens first and then Bateman.
Fine, and then go JT and Pickens for Adams and Hall. Keep Andrews. If they don't go for it, then JT and Bateman. Try that.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pickens got it done, because everybody loves Pickens.
Yeah, Pickens' hype train is real right now.
And rightfully so, but the hype train is for real.
Yeah.
Deep Slepping Club, Pittman or Boyd or Dubs, Pittman.
Yeah.
Odie, we already got your question. Tim, what is good? You already know. Thank you again for the supers. Yeah. Riley, you too. Burrow, Barkley, Stevenson, Chase, Debo, Gabe Davis, London, Taysom, Rams D, PPR 2 Flex League, currently 1-4. Please help me. Are there better days ahead with this team?
There's better. I mean, that's a very confident team you can fire up today.
Yeah, Stevenson's about to, light it on fire here and moving forward. You can rely on Taysom a little bit, and I think you're fine.
Yeah, no, you're good. Look, sometimes the ball bounces the other team's way, right? But this is a good squad. The Rams defense is, I guess, is the one unit here that's like not performing the way you would hope, but they get a smash spot matchup today. Yeah, I mean, you're firing all these dudes up with confidence. So, and London as your wide receiver 4 in like a second flex spot or whatever, you feel okay about that. I think you're fine. The problem, I guess, is Burrow. Burrow doesn't have a whole lot of rushing upside, so he's a little capped. But there aren't probably too many more upgrades you can make at the position. You could maybe explore a trade for somebody like a Kyler, like Burrow and something for Kyler, and maybe something less, maybe something like that. That would be the one thing I would maybe suggest. But the rest of this is fine. The rest of this is very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Xavier Dubs. Did we get to this one already?
The Bucks
or Jags defense? No, we missed this one too. So I hope this was
I don't know what
the
happened,
question
Xavier,
that you
sorry.
might have missed out on. Maybe you just missed that we hadn't gotten down this far enough in the chat or something like that.
Yeah.
But Bucks Jags defense this week.
I just feel bad if it's
Jags, man.
No,
going against Indy, like Jags, man.
Yes, Tampa's a top unit even when they're coming in hobbled.
So are Jags. So are the Jags. The Jags are the the defense 6 right now.
Playing well, and Indy is a unit to attack. I mean,
now Tampa's the defense 4, but that's still not a huge defense. And if you're targeting bad opposing offenses, you can't get much worse right now than Indy. And the disparity between the Bucks and the Jags isn't that large.
Yeah. Both are good options.
Both are very good
on
options.
The road. Jacksonville, I guess, is healthier than Tampa. Tampa's coming in with multiple injuries in the secondary. All right, yeah, the Jags, I guess, yeah. I don't feel great about sitting Tampa, but Jacksonville's playing well right now, and it's a good matchup. It is a revenge game for Indianapolis. Keep that in mind. Jacksonville boat raced Indy week 2, so it is a revenge game for Indianapolis, if you believe in those narratives.
But there you go. And Iron, yes, it is. Getting closer, getting closer. Thank you again for the Super Tim. Iron, good to know it's a nice movie. I'll have to check out the trailer. Kyle Mayer, Flex BPR, Melvin Gordon, Darrell Henderson, Jacoby Myers, or George Pickens.
You can only play one of these dudes.
Is it Henderson, and then if you want to get risky with it, Gordon?
Henderson, I guess, because he's not on the injury report.
And he's getting the entire workload. Like, I think everything you can say about Melvin Gordon, you can kind of say about Henderson this week too, except that Henderson is not on the injury report. So I think the answer is Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson, if you can only play one, but I hate having to sit Melvin Gordon though. You must have some really good options, which is good. But yeah, I'll go Henderson in a smash spot with no Cam Akers.
Mitchell Benkowski. If Higgins can't go, Elijah Moore or Marquez Callaway have PPR. Elijah Moore, tier break, talent tier break.
I guess, yeah.
Doesn't feel great, but
I don't feel
out
good
of those
about
options, that's what you got to roll with. And Iron got Diggs with my first pick. I hope that Allen will make it back to me, but he got picked at the 110.
Well, that's good to
that
get
happens,
him
man. But
Diggs
is a great pickup.
I think its mid-season ADP is up to like 5. Diggs is, so getting him at 8 is good. Allen was never going to make it back to you.
And Alex, thank you again for just joining, and thank you again for the super PPR flex spot. Taysom, Deion Jackson, Dobbins, or Lazard. Dobbins.
I guess Dobbins.
I think it's Dobbins. No Bateman. Might get a few more passes thrown his direction.
Yeah, might be a
little bit
more
heavily relied upon.
Yeah.
Maybe it's less of a Kenyon Drake week.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, he has 20-point upside. How many of those other guys have 20-point upside? Taysom Hill, yes, he does. You can
But
say
he's
that
also
now.
got a floor of like 5.
Yeah, Dobbins doesn't have that floor. Deion Jackson has a solid floor, but he doesn't have the ceiling of a Dobbins. And Lazard is
safe.
Yeah,
Lazard is a safe play. Dobbins has, I think, a little bit more upside.
I'm going Dobbins if I have Dobbins, I'm playing Dobbins.
Yeah, I guess I'll play Dobbins.
Had his best yards per carry of his career not of his career, but of the year last week. So while he didn't have the box score that you were looking for, he did look better on the ground last week, showed some burst, over 5 yards per carry. Dobbins. And thank you again, Riley VIP. Christian Valdivia as my flex. Kirk, Davis, or Henderson?
Gabe.
Is that Gabe or Corey or what? I'm guessing that's Gabe. If that's Gabe, it's Gabe. And the answer is Gabe. If it's Corey Davis,
Henderson is in a smash spot, but I have to chase Davis's performance last week going against the Chiefs.
If that is Corey Davis, I'm going Christian Kirk.
If it's Corey Davis, I'm going Darrell Henderson.
I like Henderson.
Henderson over Kirk.
But Henderson has borderline had the RB1 workload in the past here, and has that offense just isn't prone to ceiling weeks like it was in the past. Christian Kirk with no Marvin Jones against a bad Indianapolis Colts team, like it might be the week where Trevor Lawrence throws for 300 yards and a few more than 2 touchdowns.
Maybe.
So I think
regardless, if that's Gabe Davis, the answer is Gabe.
Yeah. And Alex Watts is Rachaad White a possibility in the flex spot PPR today? He's always a decent option, but
he's volatile.
He might not have the highest ceiling this week.
He's volatile as long as Fournette is healthy, which he is.
And Anthony Ramos, thanks for joining us. Start Lawrence, Daniel Jones, Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford, and Marcus Mariota. Danny Dimes, go for it.
Baltimore's given up top 5 production to quarterbacks for fantasy purposes right now. I mean, I can respect the Ravens' pedigree on defense. Maybe they don't let Daniel Jones like run around all over the place, but I mean the proof is in the numbers. They're giving up top 5 production right now, and the rest of those dudes just inspire very little confidence.
Yep.
Dimes.
I'm with you. And Tim Shields, thank you again. Mason Scott Lamb.
We got to
that one. Did we? Was that a repeat?
Yeah, it's a
y'all repeat. Don't need a repeat. Just to let y'all know. Iron, what future picks would you spend in a trade for Gabe? First.
Right now, it's got to be a first and probably a little bit more after what he just did.
You need a throw in, but future first is what you're talking. I mean, it maybe a 23 first straight up, but I don't know if anybody's doing that right now with how highly valued 23 firsts are.
I wouldn't.
But 24 firsts plus something like that. Yeah.
Maybe.
And Anthony Ramos, full PPR, A.J. Dillon or George Pickens? A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, go with the guy who's still getting 17, 18 touches a game for the Packers. He's going to fire at some point.
Yep.
Dillon.
Thank you again, Alex and Anthony. Victor Sosa, Latavius Murray, Tevin Coleman, or Zach Moss, 20-man PPR league, or non-PPR league. I think Latavius, man.
Sure. Go with the guy who, like, Gordon is on the injury report. The matchup is spectacular. Latavius could get in there on the goal line and just kind of fall into the end zone, and that might be the difference between him and these guys this week. I don't know that I trust Tevin Coleman with Davis Price back. Felt like his week last week. Like, good for Tevin Coleman, but feels kind of fluky.
Yep. That's the goal, Iron. That's the goal. And Odie, you don't need a repeat. We got you. Xavier Dubs, we got to that question already.
We got that one.
Callie, thank you for being in here. Non-PPR, total yardage bonuses. Bonus for long distance touchdowns. Pick one. Godwin, Pickens, Romeo. Godwin, tier break.
Godwin.
I like Pickens this week as a guy that can hit that long distance touchdown benchmark, but Godwin, tier break.
Godwin.
Christian Valdivia as my flex. I think we got to that one already. Kirk or Davis? Davis.
Yeah.
Unless that's Corey Davis, in which case Kirk. Tim Shields, Brown, Bengals, or Colts, DST. You have Bills, but not starting them.
Bengals. Bengals. Saints are top 5 offense for opposing defenses.
Browns against New England? No.
I'm playing. The Browns give up lots of points. The Browns give up points to average offenses. The Bengals. The Saints have nobody. Well, they have Kamara and Taysom Hill, but they're down all their receivers. The Bengals.
Fair.
Bengals. We're also going to start getting some inactives coming in. T. Higgins, Pitts, Mostert are all officially active. Olave, Damian Harris are inactive. So if you have T. Higgins, you have no choice. You have to fire him up. If you have Kyle Pitts, there's about a 99% chance you have to fire him up.
Yep.
Mostert, we already were expecting to play.
And Tim, Browns, Bengals, or Colts. We got Anthony.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for chilling.
Yep. Let's get some wins.
And we didn't see you yesterday. Then
sorry, Xavier.
We apologize, man. I don't know what was going on there. We haven't had technical difficulties like that outside of just no internet altogether in a while. So if that happens, man, let us know in the Discord while we're streaming, and we'll try to fix it.
Or maybe that was, I think, or sorry, I must have been thinking about something else. I thought I saw something else in the Discord about maybe this, but no, I was mistaken. But yeah, sorry about that, Xavier. That's frustrating for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
sorry about that.
If you ever do, like, just
conduct
grab
business.
us in the Discord. Just be like, yo, trying to ask a question. I don't know if you guys are seeing it or not.
Yep.
And that is a plug for the Discord, FYI. If there's anybody not in the Discord, but you want to keep the conversation going at any point other than when we are live, third link in the description of this video and all of our videos. Evergreen invite. You can join our Discord. Don't need to be a member to join. It's mostly crowdsourcing if you don't become a member, although I jump in when I can. It's a good little community we got going on.
Yes, sir. Sober thoughts. What are those? Who would you start? Boone, Joshua Kelly, Damian Harris, who's not starting, so not him. DJ Dallas. You also have Malcolm Brown. Boone. Out of necessity.
Go with the dude who is the number 2 to a good starter, but Gordon's on the injury report, and the matchup by the numbers could not be better. Chargers are getting gashed on the ground. So yeah, take a chance on Boone, who looked good last Thursday night, week 5.
Eric Lanier, good to see you in the Flex Standard League. In the last flex spot, Ayuk, Garrett Wilson, Taysom Hill, or Thielen. Are we chasing points with Hill? And not in if you need to use him, but this is a situation where it's you can flex out Thielen. I'm going Thielen.
Yeah, I guess Thielen. It's a good matchup by the numbers. Thielen has been actually producing some decent numbers. I think 2 or 3 out of the past 3 or 4 weeks. He's been steady. Good matchup. With a third-string quarterback on the other side and Skylar Thompson, you always run the risk of a short field if the Vikings defense can create a turnover. And then Thielen is suddenly in a red zone opportunity where he thrives. I'll take Thielen if between him and Taysom. It's closer than you may think, but I'll roll the dice on Thielen.
And Gianluca Amatangelo, Pittman or Walker? Walker this week, man.
Yeah, Walker. Go with the running back who looks good and has a clear runway for an RB1 workload.
Riley Xavier is taking it personal, and I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him.
I would say, look,
if you're paying for the channel and you get cut off, to your point, Xavier, I know you retracted your message. If you're paying on this channel and you get cut off, you don't expect that. So we don't want that either. So definitely let us know in the Discord when that happens again.
I would.
Sorry about that.
I'd be frustrated with that too. You have every right.
Yeah.
So,
Dear Co, good to see you, man. Have PPR. Start DK or Walker. Or also, would you start Eno Benjamin over Walker this week? Walker over Eno Benjamin, but it is close. Walker over DK.
I can't sit DK.
Yeah, I'm not sitting DK right now.
You can't play all 3 of these dudes, Derrico?
Trying to.
I'm trying to play all 3.
If you're putting in an old crusty guy like Zeke or something like that, you can bench him.
Yeah, Krusty's a good way to describe Zeke. Yeah, I want to play all 3 of these dudes if I can, Derrico, but DK has to be in your lineup.
Yeah, 27-year-old Zeke, crusty.
He is crusty.
Yeah. Eric Lanier, you're in a no tight end league. That's why Hill is a flex option. Got you.
I would play Thielen.
Yep.
I would play Thielen.
Cali Loco, Madison and Tunyon for Taysom Hill and Gainwell, the Cook owner.
Nah, don't help him out like that.
Yeah.
Gainwell's not. I mean, look.
And
Gainwell's
I wouldn't add Duvernay
situation.
for sure, but I wouldn't.
Nah.
I think I would rather have Madison, who is the clear backup. Like if Miles Sanders goes down, how confident are you that Gainwell is taking 100% of the work or 80% of the work? I'm not there. If Cook goes down, Madison is, and I still think there's room to grow for Tunyon over the course of the season. So I'm not doing this, man.
Let's not forget Cook separated his shoulder a couple of weeks ago. That is a high probability injury of re-injury, unfortunately, for Cook. I'm not giving Madison to the Cook owner just to throw them a bone for anything less than like a much better package. So yeah, Callie, hang on to Madison.
Yeah. Alex, rate rest of season PPR, Sky Moore, Rashad White, Elijah Moore, Mike Boone. Rashad White,
is one,
Elijah Moore.
Then Boone. Sky Moore is last by a sizable margin. There are no wide receivers in Kansas City that can be trusted for 2022.
Watch them go off this week. Xavier Dubs, plus no Pittman, but thank you guys. Hey, thank you, man. And sorry again about the mix-up. And does he have a better backup than Gainwell? If so, then maybe. But even then, like I like having Madison, knowing that Cook is an injury risk at any given week.
Yeah, hold what you have, Callie.
George Cook have to start AJ Brown and Sanders today and have PPR. That's not a bad. It's not a bad situation to be in.
No, don't expect
limited production. You got it.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, they'll both score touchdowns.
Yeah, there you go. Speak it into existence. You're fine, George.
And Callie, if he has Aaron Rodgers, he's losing.
Yeah, no, you're doing a double. You're doing a double help for him. Nah.
Chill on that.
Keep what you got.
Jackson, pull rank. Start Mostert or Henderson. Henderson. Yeah, no, Henderson. Mostert with Skylar Thompson. I'd rather have Henderson with Matt Stafford.
I guess. I like them both.
I do. Tier break though.
I like Mostert too. Jackson, you can't play both? If you can't play both, then Henderson in a great matchup. But actually, Mostert
team
might
tier
be
break, like the team itself, in tier break.
Is it? The Rams are kind of mid.
Yeah, but even with Matt Stafford performing like the quarterback 23 right now, which he is, he's still 10 spots better than where Skylar Thompson is right now.
Yeah. Hayden Hurst off the injury report.
There you go.
So
still playing Hill.
So if you need I would still put Taysom Hill over him, but if you need a flyer, he's an option. Hurst. Kyle Pitts is also officially active. I think we said that earlier.
And I agree about your T. Higgins comment below Mitchell. I love T. Higgins too. If he puts up 0, I don't care. But you don't feel good about it either. But Bateman, Michael Thomas, Burks, and Olave can't go, so you're stretching for a start wide receiver 3 league. I got you.
Yeah, gotta play Higgins.
And just eat the 0 if it ends up being that. But
right, but you play him.
How often does that happen when Higgins is actually playing?
You're playing him over all of those other dudes, even if they're all healthy.
Yep. George, on the flip side, do I expect a monster game from Saquon at Baltimore? Every week is a monster Saquon game,
or you can rightfully hope for a monster game from Saquon every week at this point, regardless of matchup. Top 3 running back rest of the season.
Anthony Ramos, I'm going Pitts, Hill, Ingram.
Yep, in that order. It's close with Pitts and Hill, unfortunately for Pitts, but I think I gotta keep riding. I gotta go back to Pitts for a couple more times before I completely give up on him.
Tim, I think the answer is McPherson.
Gano has been absolutely killing it.
But it's McGoatson, dude.
It is McGoatson. I do like Evan McPherson a lot. Big fan of his.
Cheddarhead, easy Deontay Johnson.
I trust Joe Burrow over Daniel Jones. Well, I guess to that point, I guess that means maybe that's a vote of confidence for Gano, I guess. Push. And that's as a McPherson lover, I'll say push.
But the next question is easy. Deontay Johnson.
Deontay, Cheddarhead.
And Gianluca, again, is Godwin.
Yeah. Take Godwin over Pittman easily.
And Randy, I would play. If Higgins is playing, you're playing him.
Yes, you're playing him over everybody.
Yep.
You have to. I know it's going to feel, it's going to hurt if he throws up a 0, but T. Higgins is that guy with wide receiver 1 upside. If he's in the Bengals lineup, he's in your fantasy lineup.
Absolutely.
He has to be.
So, but thoughts? Who would you drop? Algier, Hines, Madison, Ayuk, Freiermuth out this week, or Reynolds? Reynolds.
Of those guys,
I'd want to keep everybody else, even Hines, who's out right now. I'd rather drop Reynolds.
Take a shot on him. Right, especially with Taylor laboring. I know Hines is too, but
yeah,
Hines will come back. We hope. I mean, that was a scary looking situation when he suffered the concussion, but Hines will come back. Taylor's dealing with like an ankle injury. That's long term, maybe a little bit more concerning.
Yeah, when Hines comes back, he takes some work away from Deion Jackson and takes all the work away from Phillip Lindsay. So he steps right into a valuable workload when he comes back if Taylor isn't healthy as well. So definitely Reynolds. Yep. And Dirko, I think you're making the right decision there, but it's DK. With the rest of your roster, I like that, but DK.
Yeah. Yep.
Tim Shields with the tough questions. Alec Pierce or Elijah Moore rest of season. I have to say now at this point it's Alec Pierce, and that is Pierce. As a person who has been down on Alec Pierce, it's Alec Pierce at this point.
I didn't think I would.
Cooper Kupp is out today.
Where are you seeing that? Are you seeing that? Where are you seeing that?
I just saw it in the chat.
Oh, Michael M said it. Oh, sorry, I missed that. Michael, where are you seeing that? I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that.
I just dropped Allen Robinson.
Whoops.
Oh man. All right.
I don't think he's. I don't see anything here. I don't see anything here. I don't know what your source is, Michael. I would love to hear it. I'm not seeing anything.
Me neither.
Both expected to play.
We'll keep our eyes open. But let us know if you got any inside information on that. And you made us look. Come on, man. That's not cool. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Lame.
We're trying to help people out. We don't want to give them bad information.
Yeah, you're wasting our time with that nonsense.
Come on, man. Love having you in here. If you have any questions for us, absolutely. But we don't want to mislead people on this channel. Andrew, Higgins or Dylan PPR?
Has to be Higgins.
Yeah, even coming off an injury, he's healthy right now. You got to play Higgins. Top 12 wide receiver right now. Dobbs or DJ Moore? Ugh.
Jesus.
Dobbs?
Maybe.
Ugh. Dobbs, man.
I guess. Ugh.
I don't feel good about it, but Dobbs. I feel like this is the week where it's gonna bite me in the butt, but Dobbs.
I mean, Moore's got game script in his favor today. We expect
8 targets and 11 targets in back-to-back games. 19 targets in back-to-back games in the last 2 games combined. They do suck. Different quarterback though. I don't know if I can go back to DJ Moore though. I'm going Dobbs. He's shown more suits and more recently.
Yeah, I guess.
And then we reevaluate after this week. But Dobbs this week. Yep. Andrew S, AJ Dillon, James Robinson, or Deion Jackson full PPR. AJ Dillon, man.
Dillon, go with the proven dude. Go with the guy who's got a guaranteed workload. Of this group, the best offense.
Yep.
Or the one you believe in the most, I guess.
We got Jesus in the chat. What's happening, man? Should I trade Diggs for JT and Deontay?
You were offered that today.
Yeah.
What's the rest of your situation?
I think I would do that.
What does the Lord's roster look like otherwise? Like, are your wide receivers stout? Like, could you use could you use taking a flyer on Taylor even though he's missed the past couple of weeks? Like, what's the rest of your situation? What's the rest of your roster look like? Let us know.
I think I'm all right with that. I
okay
love Diggs
it,
more than the most.
Man,
I mean,
Diggs
look at me,
so,
but like, you look at the targets that they're getting, and it's pretty close. Obviously, the quality of those targets is way better for Diggs. But I mean, you're getting a pretty wide receiver with a very nice floor, who hasn't even had a sniff at his ceiling yet this year, and we've seen top 8 ceiling for Deontay, and you're getting JT. I love Diggs. I think I'm doing that.
I'd want to see the rest of your roster before I sign off, because Diggs is that dude.
Scott Sharp, good to see you. 1 and 4 full PPR. Sorry to hear that. 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Looking to trade Lamar Jackson and Cortland Sutton for Derrick Henry and Matt Ryan.
No.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No. Don't do that.
Don't
but
do
you
that.
have Lamar and Justin Herbert.
Don't do that.
Well, I mean, trade one of them. You got to trade one of them, but don't trade for another quarterback.
If you want to do like Justin Herbert for Derrick Henry or something like that, and hold on to Lamar Jackson or whatever you want to do, like do that, but don't trade away a good wide receiver in Sutton.
Yeah.
Hold Sutton. Keep him.
Yeah.
But make a trade to make him your wide receiver 3 instead of 2 or something like that.
Right.
Tim Shields, if Eno goes off, is Connor in jeopardy of splitting work if he can't stay healthy? Absolutely. He always was.
Sure.
He always was.
Sure.
Rest of season, Curtis Samuel in the trash with Wentz or Alec Pierce?
With trash Wentz.
That's
what Wentz is. He's trash. Rest of season.
Curtis Samuel's been fine even with trash Wentz. I'm going Curtis Samuel,
yeah,
dude.
He had a bad week he had a bad night on Thursday, but that was mostly because, well, actually he dropped a 40-yard touchdown, so that wasn't on Wentz, that was on Samuel. I'll give us, and it's actually a pretty tough matchup, or a pretty tough stretch rest of season as far as matchups for the Commanders. I'll say Samuel for now, but it's incredibly close. It's incredibly close. And with Brian Robinson back, expect fewer backfield opportunities moving forward for Curtis. So this is very close. This is very close. And not in a good way for Curtis. Pierce is on his heels.
And Eric Tate, don't do that. Come on,
Eric.
Now, this false information. Don't be doing that.
Michael M switched over to his other account, Eric Tate. Do yourself a solid.
Don't
move yourself out of your mom's basement and stop wasting people's times.
But
yeah, and you're gone.
Yeah, very nice.
You're gone.
Gone. And Elout, have a good rest of your day. I hope you win in all your leagues today. Thanks for chilling.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Devontae behind him, but on by Cortland Sutton, receiver 3, but in a 6-man league. Should you trade Diggs? Devontae behind him. Diggs for JT and Deontay.
You have Devontae.
You have Devontae and Cortland Sutton. And then Deontay and JT. I'm doing that, man.
Yeah. He said it's a 6-man league. So you have super teams.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go for it. Just as long as you can stomach not having Diggs today in a great matchup, because you obviously are not going to be able to play Taylor today.
And Scott, your starting RB2 should not be Coleman. It should be Jackson. But 7-10 bad fish, AJ Dillon or James Robinson full PPR. AJ Dillon this week. George Diggs is not out. Eric Tate was being facetious. Don't worry about it. But 7-10 bad fish, AJ Dillon, Scott Sharp, Jackson.
Oh.
And please keep reading. Herbert would replace Lamar for me, and then Boyd. I still don't want to do that.
That's too much. You're giving up a guy. You're giving up a top 5 quarterback and a wide receiver 1 for. Derrick Henry's been killing it so far. Matt Ryan's
he's not good.
He's been so bad. And I see, Henry's replacing, some guy that's a big drop off going from Sutton to Thielen and Boyd and giving up a top quarterback. There's got to be another way to find to find some running back help.
And Xavier, you're not doing it too now, are you? Matt Ryan ain't out.
No, he's not out.
Timothy Chan, start Pickens, London, Dobbins in your flex. Dobbins.
Dobbins.
And Tim Shields in your other league, full PPR, 2 wide receiver and flex. You have Herbert, Chase, Diggs, flex, Deontay Higbee. You need to upgrade running backs. You have Gibson, Brian Robinson, Connor, Eno. You have Curtis Samuel, Dalton Schultz on the bench. I mean, yeah, you need to upgrade your running backs, but I don't know how I really don't know how you're going to.
Trade Deontay with Chase and Diggs. Or you could sell Chase's name on super high name recognition for an even better running back. Even though you just trade.
Or you roll with Eno this week, who should give you a very good week. You probably were starting Brian Robinson if you were smart, who didn't give you a great week, but I think he scored a touchdown, so you should be fine there. And then you just roll into next week with whoever's healthy for the Cardinals and Brian Robinson. It might not feel great, but you have the security blanket for both backfields. I mean, you could trade, we talked about this yesterday with somebody, trade the entire backfield for an upgrade. And you have 2 of those situations to do, but then you're just left with 2 running backs. I think in your unique situation, try to package Curtis Samuel and Schultz for just another RB2 type. And then roll with the best of the combination of running backs that you have for the given teams that you're. I mean, for the Cardinals and the Commanders.
Yeah.
Xavier, you're playing Pittman. Don't do that. Come on, bro.
Pittman.
Jay, cross country. Good to see you. Start 2 wide receiver flex 1. Or we flex 1. Waddle, Sutton, Myers. Start 2 wide receivers, flex 1. Got you. Waddle, Sutton, Myers, Deontay Higgins, and Najee PPR.
Higgins. Deontay Higgins.
Yeah.
Sutton, Deontay Higgins.
Yep. Agreed. Black Diamond, Diggs is playing, but Cooper Kupp is out, according to Adam Schefter.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
I'm not seeing that either.
I just looked at Schefter's Twitter feed. If he's saying it on NFL Live, which I don't have on right now, admittedly, then fine. But I'm not seeing anything. And I would have to imagine he would have tweeted it by now. And I'm not seeing anything else. I don't know where people are, or unless we're getting trolled, in which case I don't,
Yeah, but that normally doesn't happen to us, so I'm going to ignore it.
I'm
Scott Sharp, glad we could help. Mitchell Benkowski was 1-9. Game against the median in an orphan. Wow.
So you moved him for a top 3 pick. Okay. And the 112.
Okay.
And okay, so you got like 4, or you got 3 firsts and a second-round pick for Chase.
Solid. That's what you would want to get.
Look, Chase is
That's what you would want to get.
Chase is a building block that you can work with, but that's a pretty damn good return. If it's a guaranteed top 3 pick this year, a late first this year, and then a mid first in 2024, and then a second for good measure, then sure, fine. That's what I would need for Chase as well. If I decided to part with him. Kudos to you for being able to pull the trigger, because I don't even know if I could for Jamar Chase, just because it's Jamar Chase. But if you're going to pull the trigger, that might as well be what you get for him.
Get the haul.
Yeah, you might as well get all the firsts.
And Xavier, yeah, you got to watch out for that wording, man. Got to watch out for that wording. But all good.
It's
Andrew
okay.
Stonebarger, got to start 2. Najee, Melvin Gordon, or Deion Jackson. The last 2. Can't believe I'm there. The last 2, Melvin Gordon and Deion Jackson, dude.
I don't know if I could do I don't know if I could do Deion Jackson over Najee, and that's as somebody who is like not feeling good about Najee. I don't know if I'm that far down.
I mean, he had a better week than Najee's had all year in the one start that he got. Did he not?
Did he? He could have.
No, I mean Najee. I mean, he matched Najee's highest week in the one start that he's gotten.
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't a start. It was a spot situation that Hines had to go out for.
Yeah.
Against Denver.
In the second.
13 for 62,
in the second quarter.
29.
Yeah. So no, Deion. I'm starting Deion Jackson over him. I am. And Melvin Gordon, you're betting on a running back coming back from injury in the late window, so you have to keep that in mind. If you don't want to play that game, then start Najee and Deion. If you do want to play that game, a little bit higher risk tolerance for a higher upside play than Melvin Gordon, but maybe with the understanding that you might need to swerve to a Joshua Kelly or somebody like that.
Yeah.
And Xavier Dubs, Duvernay with no Bateman.
Yeah.
Sawar Abdulatif, Joshua Kelly or Chase Edmonds. That's ugly, but I'm going Joshua Kelly. I'm going Joshua Kelly. Chase Edmonds, we like him a lot, but with a third string quarterback, I'm going to go with the guy who's back up with one of the best quarterbacks in the league and not a backup to the third string quarterback right now for Miami.
Yep.
And Jay cross country Higgins is playing.
He could re-aggravate the injury. That's always a concern, but if they think enough, if they think enough of what he's shown in pregame and all of that, then we have to fire him up with some form of confidence as well. If he's in, then he's in. If he's in the starting lineup for the Bengals, then he's got to be in your lineup for fantasy.
And we got more people saying that Kupp is out.
I think William Fredericks is also just another
Schefter
variation
is saying
of Michael.
that he's fine to play. Whatever, y'all.
William, do yourself a solid. Move out of your mom's basement and stop wasting other people's time.
Yeah. Come on, y'all. PJ Monroe start Joe Mixon or Eno Benjamin. There's a tier break there. I'm going Joe Mixon. And Scott Sharp, it's getting close, but not period. But he's dropping down that list every week.
Yeah.
Brad Toms, what's going on? PPR pick 2, Robinson, ETN, Pierce, Lindsey, Pitts. ETN and which Robinson is that? Doesn't matter. ETN and
where are we at?
Going ETN Pierce?
It's pick 2.
Are you going ETN Pitts?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I gotta go ETN
for
Pierce.
Sure. ETN for sure.
And I'm not a Pierce fan. ETN and Pierce.
Do you mean Pitts?
No, I'm going ETN and Pierce.
Oh, you're saying you're not a Pierce fan. That being said, fire up Pierce.
Yeah.
You could. I mean, look, he's got back-to-back 80-yard weeks. Back-to-back 80-yard weeks.
I think that's what I'm going with.
Sure.
PPR. Can't trust Pitts yet. Out of those options, even with them being back from injury this week, I just got to see it. I got to see it. Have the explosion week. Mark, you just snatched Christian Kirk in your league this morning. Good job. Need to pick 3 now in full PPR. James Robinson, Drake London, Jeff Wilson, or Kirk. Definitely Kirk for 1. Drake London for 2. Jeff Wilson for 3. Sit James Robinson in full PPR.
Yes, agreed. Play those other 3 guys. I don't feel great about James Robinson right now, but
yeah,
over
I'm playing those other 3 over him. And Tim Shields,
London,
yeah, if
Wilson,
you can get
Kirk.
Henderson,
Yeah, London, Wilson, Kirk.
if you can get Henderson, then go for it. Yes, that's a win.
Absolutely.
Do it. That's a win.
Absolutely do that if you can. Yeah, absolutely if you can.
And Brad Toms, you're very welcome. Hope that helps. Xavier Dubs, yeah man, I just dropped him. Van Jefferson is going to come back at some point. They've been using Tutu Atwell more. We've known that they've been using Higbee that way for a minute. They now have their pass catching back in full time, because that is what Darrell Williams was operating as. So he's going to get some passes thrown his way. OBJ, that still isn't ruled out. Bringing in another option at wide receiver, depending on the success that they have over the course of the next few games, is not out of the equation for them. So, yeah, man, the A-Rob is a drop. He's a drop.
Yep. Agreed.
But we are at the bottom of the chat. Thank you guys for chilling. A little bit under an hour until the red zone kickoff.
Yeah.
Again, we have these shows Saturday, 6 p.m. EST, Tuesday, 6 p.m. EST, Sunday, 10 a.m. EST every week. We also have 2 members-only streams on Wednesday and Thursday. For anybody who wants 2 extra streams a week, you can join for 99 cents a month as the lowest member tier, and then it scales up from there with some extra perks. But regardless, thank you guys for everybody who contributed to the chat today in a constructive manner,
in a positive way.
Right. Thanks for everybody who was contributed to Super, Anthony Garcia, Alex Watts, Tim Shields, Riley. Very kind. Much appreciated. You didn't need to do that. But everybody have a great week. If we don't have any more questions here, if you have any more questions before kickoff, throw them in the Discord. We'll be active in there up until kickoff and probably a little bit afterwards. But have a great day today. Hope your team wins. Hope your fantasy team wins. And we will see you next week.
Third link in the description of this video is the Discord invite if any other questions come up between now and kickoff. But otherwise, enjoy the football, everybody, and let's get some wins.
Yes, sir. Take it easy, all.